Hey, hey, hey. So, welcome to my space. Come on in. Let's have a look at the cards. Let's see what's coming up. Can you hear the war drums? You know, they were coming a while ago, when they first that were following that intuitive wave. And it came in the form of the war on the people. It came in the form of war, projection of war. It came, and the build up to this that wants to come up. The build up to this for the UK is with the star card there in reverse. It's speaking of war drums. It's speaking of this constant interruption. These constant things that are manipulated by a few on the outside, having this intrusion upon this healing that is going on for many of us of DNA strand wounds and atrocities. So we've got this star card in reverse, and for the UK in particular, there is this interruption of self-mastery, and a lot of it is coming with distraction. A lot of it is coming with same old storylines that have gotten you into that wounded hero story within self in the past, and it's tearing. And that is the war that is going on right now in the UK, and it's going on a lot. It's intense. But then there's this build up to the physical war, and physically putting people in the UK and other places. But this is what I'm feeling right now very strongly, in a place of wartime scenario, but without the knowledge of ancestors, of how to make nettle soup, of how to make those things, even if they never have to come into play exactly the same way, still give you a sense of peace, a sense of knowing that you have your own will, nature is with you, not against you, and you have your own stories, sagas of ancestors to go on as to healing properties in certain remedies that can be found outside. It gives you a sense of peace, but when you haven't got that, and you have these manipulations of warlike conditions, food, etc., then that puts people into this space of panic, into this space of it's all lost, dismay, but it also puts people into a space of wanting a distraction from that and wanting to find a savior, an island to follow, to be with, to feel like you're part of a herd, a crowd. But within so many of those herds that I'm witnessing in the UK and feeling in other spaces is is the same old story, the same old thing, um, the same old biblical like stories being played out. So even those that are like really getting there with this star card in reverse to a space of finding where those wounds are, where those blocks to true healing are, they're sort of getting there, but then there's this attack from the closest around them with the Seven of Wands in reverse. Um, there's this attack from the closest, and that attack comes from the will and the want for the distraction, and the distraction being there. And that is not by accident. Um, that's not by mistake in many ways. There's a few people knowing that they're doing this. And so we've got the Three of Swords. It's hard to read, it is. I've lifted myself out of this energetic space, but to witness it with the Three of Swords in reverse is like this complete block. So all of these cards are reversed, and there's this complete block to the very thing that people have gotten to the point of being able to shout out about and learn about, but then they're so close, but yet so far. And it's this perpetuate self-perpetuating wound, this self-perpetuating opening of the same old things. When you do that, you know, we've already got so much of that in our DNA that it weakens the state of the mind, it weakens the state of the fire and the air, the elements that somebody has. And so this is very much happening in the UK. We've got the hangman in reverse. No, he's not in reverse. The hangman's in the upright here on the bottom of the deck. So the hangman there would say that there's this level of high perception and connectedness to the upside down. But that is the perceived upside down is not the upside down, and the thing that is said to be upright and virtuous and a solution is not either. There's this enlightenment beyond that that is almost crazy making to witness how infected people and these systems are, and they're all predicated upon a man-made construct. And it's difficult to see this locked in society, that even those who are so close and have gone so far to be sort of reaching and speaking about these systems, these things that hold them in place, they've gone right back into that conveyor belt of basically the same old story, savior outside of self. And it is as it is. I think a lot of us are feeling that way, that it is as it is. And so now we move on to the next. And because, you know, we knew this, we've talked about this on this channel way back when, on Wayne's channel so many times, you know, Nina, other people, Trina, conversations with Susie Q, you know, Guy and Paul we spoke about it, all of us. We've been speaking about what is happening now, and we're feeling it, and it is what it is, and the cards just sort of confirm it. But we were talking about this then. So what are we talking about now? What are we talking about? And by the royal we, you know what I mean. What are we feeling now? Where should our projections and paths be leading now? And so one of the things that's coming to me say to us is to say this whole feeling that's going to come up real strong from all sectors that have been infiltrated, which means all, is this thing for reparation, you know, wanting to find a solution to what the atrocities that have happened, by seeking any kind of reparation from the very systems that caused those atrocities, from the more personal level to the community level, to the people's level, to, you know, to the raising up all levels from the individual up. To seek reparations. And this brings about an anger, but it brings about an anger that is a little bit more like a conveyor belt again, of us getting drawn back into seeking the apology from the abuser. And what kind of apology could ever cover it anyway? And the egos that have been helping to create the dynamics for these atrocities to be allowed to happen from our ancestral lines and beyond is there is no reparation for that. There is nothing but with this hangman a greater understanding that you can't seek something for good from that toxic space that caused such atrocities. And so you don't want to get into that conveyor belt. The only reparation would be to not have these systems in place, to not affiliate with them at all, to do what we know to do as energetic beings and move out of an energetic toxic space, to not give it air, to not give it manifestation. So it gets to a point where you have to sort of strangulate that out. So there's a lot of us that are having to walk away from these spaces that we went into and we deliberately went into, didn't always want to, but went into, and we found the people we needed to find. We spoke to the people who had eyes to see and ears to hear truly. And then there was this thing of a lot of us, me included, being repelled from these people, like literally the power of, but Jesus, we expel you, like that. And so, and that's good, because we did what we needed to do, gathered people, and made those strong connections, and then we've been moved out of that space. But that is a good thing, because these people, whether they're on a political side, a religious side, or said movement side, they're in religion, they're in belief systems that are fixed, and a lot of those belief systems are the psyop's view of what the ending will be like, the savior outside of self. And so it's, they're seeking reparations as well. So there's like this energy, this anger being built of, do you know you're entitled to medical blah, blah, blah. And it's being pushed and pushed on that side, just as the political side through mainstream media is pushing certain things, causing this divide and causing this sort of need and want for reparation. So this anger that very much ties in with that word is building up. And there is no seeking of reparation for this. There can't be. There just has to be a change, a difference, not having these systems in place. They haven't been here that long. They were just made up by taking sacred texts that worked and distorting them into characters. We've got the page of coins for us. So the page of coins is that messenger who knows how to be like child, but it's that type of child that wouldn't look so sensible, you know, just running over rocks and stuff like that. But because they know the lay of the land, because they're pentacles, they're physical, they've jumped those rocks. They know how slippy moss is. They know where not to step on moss. And so they can look real carefree, but because they've got the knowledge and the lay of the land, they are really grounded kids too. Where you would think as the having a page of pentacle friend as a kid, they wouldn't keep you safe because they were wild. They would jump over these rocks. They would do these things in a second. But if they saw you doing something stupid, it's a bit like a city kid and a country kid, you know, meeting up to play together. Then that country kid is going to know a certain safety aspects. It's like, no, pal, you don't do that. You know, yeah, we're wild, but you know, don't be that wild. You know, that's a pothole. You'll go down it. I might not be able to get you out. You know, that kind of thing. And vice versa for the city kid, there are certain parameters that kid will be truly connected to. It's a street merchant kid. It's a kid who knows its lay of the land, who knows its surroundings. And it does bring that message, and it's a subtle message of be like child. Now it's time to dig deep with the people that you know you've gathered, and really be very, very cognizant of the distractions and those conveyor belts, those doors that go around, of just going straight back into an energy that you know it's time to leave. You know, they're just getting angry. And that's exactly what is wanted by these powers that be. Of course it is. Judgment. So major arcana, judgment. It speaks of, it's the whole Moses part in water story. It's the whole finding your path, finding your tribe. It's about as well having the bravery and judgment to strip yourself bare of the things that you feel you've layered yourself up with to become accepted by these systems, by these energies. And so a lot of that will be this detachment, even more so of leaving behind what doesn't serve you, whether that's people, whether that's things, whether that's environments, whether that's just not just, but consciousness. A consciousness shift, but being able to be bare and raw in that and naked in it, and not feel the judgment of others, but knowing that in judgment you've looked at yourself, you've looked at your environment, you've looked at the energies around you and what the energies to come to you, that you felt the energies beyond you, past you, and you've made that measured decision of what to shed, what to let go of. And it's when you go through this real intense type judgment energy, it really is intense. You do strip bare, your body does react. You often will need to expel things out of your body, that have made you toxic, that you have absorbed in certain organs, or you have a buildup in certain organs. There's this recalibration that happens during this kind of judgment shift, and it's bringing yourself into alignment with your path, the path that you are on at this present moment, and the path that you need to continue on, and the paths that you need to get off. And so it really is about, it's an intense energy that has a reaction on all levels of self, and this does feel like an intense one. And again, with the Page of Coins, being accepting of those messages from your own spirit, from ancestors, from the connectedness of these dimensions bouncing together so rapidly. There's so much more opportunity to be grabbing or seeing or feeling other fractals of self and other dimensions at the minute. I feel that's happening a lot for me. There are aspects of me, fractals of me, that are interdimensional, and I've felt much more connected to them lately. And so that is the Page of Pentacles, sort of being the messenger across worlds, across the physicals. Take from that what you will. We've got the Fool card, another major arcana, and the Fool card speaks of what game are you playing? It's the zero. It's this, have you found through this judgment being grounded, but also being like child with this Page of Pentacles, a page of the physical? Have you found enough of yourself yet to be able to be your raw, true self and strip bare of what is not needed anymore with that Judgment card? To being able to go into that zero energy, that 0 point energy of self, of okay, now I'm on this path, and it isn't all roses. It's not all just love and light. It has to have it's a cracked path. There are cracks in the path that you have to be careful of. You can feel that, but are you going to go for this or not? Are you going to play your game or not? Are you going to bring about different realities through doing as you speak? Are you going to really enter into that space without fear? Maybe trepidation, but not fear. Discernment, but not fear. Are you ready for that? And it feels exciting, but it also feels quite ominous. Ominous. It does, because there are these war drums banging at either side of the path. And there are these arms reaching out at the moment from all sides. you know, I've had it in my mind and I've never liked it when people have put names to things like this sheeple thing. Makes me laugh because a lot of these people are saying certain enlightened words and then they're saying, you know, wake up sheeple and all those sheeple, and it's like, so you've taken more biblical text. While so you're taking the mickey, you're degrading people for being a sheep, a follower, while having your followers only devote themselves to you and exclude anything that questions you. And then you are wanting to then use biblical text to prove your point of what is to come. But that same biblical text, they're the same people that put out the word sheeple for you to latch on to. So you're degrading yourself while degrading others. Great. And it's like that kind of energy, those arms are pulling out to you. And so it is a path of like, oh, wow, we're in this now, aren't we? So do what you will and prove yourself worthy, my fellow lovers, light workers, empaths, my fellow beings that are of a higher vibration, that are of an eclectic tone of vibrations and frequencies, and are not afraid to be extravagant in playing all of their frequencies and utilizing all of their frequencies, even those that a lot of these people will shout, that's darkness, let's be afraid of the dark. You came from the dark. You came from the dark. And so these are our drums, these are our build-ups. So be real kind to yourself right now. Be really, really cognizant to build yourself up each morning with you, those drums, those, you know, like feel it inside of you, and speak to yourself and say, all right, okay, we're in this, let's do this. And face the days that way in order to serve this energy that I feel for us, very much so, that is intense, exhilarating, and with all of the highs and lows on it. When you're playing your whole frequential piano, you're gonna rock this. I need to rock this. You need me to rock this. I need you to rock this. We need each other to rock this individually, to build this wave of change, true change, not change the law, change the system, change the, but you know, that's not time for that yet. Right now, we're going to ride this energetic wave of the peaks and troughs, and we're going to play our frequential pianos awesomely. We've got the 9 of Wands on the bottom of the deck, and that would speak to discernment, 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 so many paths, which one to choose, and getting into that space of peace, that 0 point energy, and just feeling your way into the correct path and being super discerning. What is supposedly made of love and light may not be made of love and light at all. What is supposedly made from the darkness and the evil may not be at all. It is like a hall of mirrors, this energetic wave that we're going down. Of, you know, when you go to the hop-ins we have, or what would it be like in, what would it be like just in this country without the hop-ins? What is it? Like a ride park, a park ride. What's the word for it? Um, Holiday park. It's not that. It is a roller coaster park, but it doesn't just have roller coasters. It's like those halls of mirrors that you see, the you know, with the crazy mirrors, where you don't know how you're going to get out. You have to sort of feel your way, and the reflection can look really real, but it's distorted, it's bounced. there's a lot of that energy coming up for us. So I hope that helps. I hope you get from it what you needed. And I'm with you all. I'm feeling you all. Particular people I can feel energetically reaching out to me, and I'm reaching out to them. Be comfortable in the space that you're in and doing the things that you're doing. Susie, I know you, sister, and you have been a pillar of strength to me, but you've been one of those people, like the ancestors, passing down ways and means to keep food and be busy. I've felt you've been so busy with that. So there's a lot of us, but we're not being loud, we're having to be connected. And so I love you all and I appreciate you all. And we're going to have to get this back on the road eventually. I'm going to have to come out of this energy and get my stuff back out there, the stuff I enjoy connecting with all of you. But it is what it is as to where it's been the last few weeks. I don't know. When you're dealing with energies and people like this all around, just it's fucking, they're hurting. They're hurting and they're hurting themselves while trying to hurt others. It's not nice to watch. It doesn't give me any pleasant vibes at all. It's just laughable, but it's not pleasant. So anyway, much love, balance, and wholeness always. Mwah. Change.